Glensheen Mansion Murders, Period 1 by Isaac, Jaden, and Jordan. On June 27, 1977, Elizabeth Congdon, at 83 years old, was murdered in her bed. She was smothered with a satin pillow. Elizabeth's night nurse, Velma Patilla, at 67 years old, was beaten with a brass candlestick and found on the second-floor landing. Roger Caldwell was convicted for both murders. Glensheen opened for public tours in 1979.
Marjorie signed over a check of $2.5 million 2 days before the murder.
Marjorie, are you sure you want to sign over that much money?
Her motive was to get an early inheritance. This money would have been used to pay off her deep debt and buy a $75,000 ranch.
Elizabeth was laying peacefully in her bed when she was smothered with a satin pillow. Velma Patilla, the night nurse, was hit with a brass candlestick 37 times and fell down the second-floor landing. Her body was badly beaten and bruised. On July 6, 1977, the police arrested Roger Caldwell and charged him with committing the murders, allegedly to speed up the collection of his wife's hefty share of inheritance.
Roger, you are sentenced to 2 life terms in prison.
Roger pleads guilty to second-degree murder. In return, he does not need to serve any more time in jail.
On April 2, 1979, Marjorie's trial begins in Hastings, Minnesota. The trial was again moved here because of pretrial policy.
On May 17, 1988, Roger kills himself in a small apartment in Pennsylvania.
3 days later was his funeral. Only 9 people attended.
On July 21, 1979, the jury deliberates 9 hours and finds Marjorie is not guilty of the charges. Juries throw a party and invite Marjorie.
Woohoo! Yeah! Oh my god, yes!
Marjorie got 1/4 of the family trust set up by Elizabeth, and she will draw income from 1/3 of the children's share until she dies. A good chunk of the inheritance, through perhaps as much as $2 million, goes for attorney's fees.
In the end of this case, more than 500 pieces of evidence were found, and lots of witnesses were talked to. All of the evidence points to Roger being guilty. Even though the Glensheen murders was a great tragedy, it was one of the most publicized homicides in Minnesota history. The case grabbed headlines from all over. Also, 30% of people come to the Glensheen because of the murders.
The Congdon family has reunions every 5 years. At these reunions, they don't talk about the murders. They just remember Elizabeth and Patilla.